Today on Sports Card Investor, we're going eBay deal hunting. I'm going to show you how I find and negotiate for great sports card deals on eBay. My name is Geoff Wilson. By day, I invest in tech companies, and at night, I invest in sports cards. Join me on my journey to profit from the hobby we all love. Sports card investors, and welcome to a big episode, how I find and negotiate for great sports card deals on eBay. And ever since I got back into sports card investing a few years ago, eBay has been absolutely core to my sports card investing strategy. In fact, I have bought and sold more cards on eBay than via any other method. Many of the really big, profitable cards that I have made the most money on over the last few years are cards that I originally bought on eBay. And today, I'm going to show you my process for how I look on eBay to find good sports card deals. I'm hoping that I give you some great tips and takeaways today that you can use yourself to hunt for great sports card deals and find great investment opportunities for yourself. Now, eBay is the number one source that I look at when I am trying to buy sports cards for a few reasons. First of all, eBay has the biggest inventory of sports cards out of any website out there, much bigger than any card show you could possibly go to. They have a ton of cards of all different types, from lower end cards all the way up to the high end grail cards, the big investments that you might want to make. They're all on eBay. And in fact, if you're searching for a rare card or a grail that only comes up every so often, you want to constantly be looking for that card on eBay. And I'm going to show you some tips today on how you can do that, because chances are at some point in time that card will hit eBay, and when it does, you want to be ready to make your offer or make your purchase. I love eBay because you can also look for cards and shop anywhere. You can do it on the go, from your laptop, from your cell phone. I do it all the time when I'm on business trips or on vacations. In fact, my wife will oftentimes yell at me when I'm on vacations because I'm waking up in the morning, drinking my morning coffee and scrolling listings on eBay on my phone, but it's what I love to do. I find that to be tremendous entertainment while also having a great investment opportunity associated with it. And because eBay has the most sports card transactions and trading card transactions in general, you can also get the best sense of the market by looking on eBay. And of course, all of our data tools here at Sports Card Investor, such as our Market Movers data product and our Sports Card Investor app, they are all bringing in eBay sales information and eBay listings. That's what we base a lot of our analysis and recommendations off of. So I've always been a big fan of eBay, and eBay recently approached us here at Sports Card Investor and said, hey, we'd love to sponsor an episode where you guys talk about your process of finding great deals on eBay. And I said, I'd love to do it, and I know my viewers would love to see it. So that is what we are doing today. Thank you, eBay, for sponsoring this episode. We appreciate it. And today I'm going to cover 5 really important things to get you going and to give you a lot of knowledge and tips. So first of all, how to create a list of target investment cards. We're going to start by talking about that. What cards should you invest in and why? How to know the answer to that question. Second of all, how to use the free Sports Card Investor app to find great eBay deals, because there's some really great ways you can do that, and it's totally free. I'm going to show that to you in just a minute. How to negotiate on eBay using the make an offer function. This is an important one in order to help you get the best deal. How to use the tools on eBay.com and within eBay's app so that you can use their tools, because there's a lot of tricks to that as well to find the best deals. I'm going to show that to you today. And then finally, how to use the new eBay deal search feature in Market Movers as well. So a lot of great information about to come your way. And before we start, I just wanted to show you a couple of my greatest hits with eBay investing because it is fun to go back in time and look at this. I love searching in my email for finding those eBay order confirmation emails from some time ago and using that to kind of remind myself of some of those purchases I made. Of course, you can also track all of this within Market Movers. The My Collection feature in Market Movers allows you to track all of your eBay purchases or purchases of any type and see how much profit you made over time because it updates the current prices of those cards every day. Let me show you a few of these. So these are from late 2019. So just a little bit over a year ago, I was buying on eBay. I bought several of these. Joel Embiid Prism PSA 10 rookie cards for under $100. Can you imagine that? Look at this one. Trae Young. I bought a lot of 6 PSA 10 Trae Young rookie cards for $323. Like literally about $50 a card, just over $50 a card. Incredible to think about. How about a James Harden Logo Man RPA for $313? Like, look at it's just amazing. Some of these cards I was buying. You got the Joker BGS 9.5, his Prism rookie card numbered to 65. I got that for $568. These are all cards that are worth many, many, many times over today. And oh man, this was one of my favorite purchases of all time on eBay. This was a redemption card, which by the way, redemption cards can sometimes provide sneaky value. Look for redemption cards on eBay. This was a redemption for a Panini Immaculate Dual rookie card auto of Luka and Trae. I paid less than $2,000 for that card. It's a beautiful card. It's worth several times more than that today. But it wasn't just all the way back to 2019 to find good deals on eBay. I was finding great deals on eBay just a couple of months ago. I mean, look at this stuff. I went in late November of 2020. I went on a Kobe Bryant buying kick on eBay because I thought his cards were way too cheap at that moment in time. I was buying all kinds of Kobe rookie cards. Several of these cards have gone up, several times over. Just since November. And I bought some big cards on eBay as well. eBay can be a great source for buying really big cards. This was his Topps Chrome rookie card in BGS 10 Pristine that I bought for $18,000 back in December. That's a $50,000 plus card today, probably a lot more than that. And I just bought that at the beginning of December. And then also, how about this 1980s Topps basketball, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Julius Erving card, PSA 9? I got that in November for less than $15,000. That card is well over $50,000 today. I'm showing you this, guys, because no matter when you're buying, there's opportunities to find deals on eBay. But look, I'm not always perfect. I just showed you some of my greatest hits there. I've messed up as well. Let me show you one just so you know. Oh, Justice Winslow. I thought I was getting such a good deal when I paid $1,000 for Justice Winslow's National Treasures RPA back in November of 2019. His career hasn't exactly taken off the way that I thought it would. Although he actually did have a good game the other night with Memphis, so who knows? Maybe there's still a little hope for Justice Winslow. I don't know, but I thought he was going to be a big one. Hey, look, I'm not 100% right. Those of you who have heard me talk about Lonzo Ball in previous episodes, you know that I'm not always 100% right. But I've had a lot more wins than losses, which is awesome, and eBay has been a big part of that. So let's now jump in to how I find good deals on eBay and the tactics I use to profit. So hopefully you can do the same. If you are investing in sports cards, before you start buying anything, the first step you should do is to create a plan. Create a target list of cards that you're gonna go after for investment purposes. It is especially true if you're going to be buying cards on a site like eBay, because eBay has so many cards listed, millions of cards, that it's easy to end up browsing around and getting lost in the many, many listings, finding cards that look cool and maybe clicking into them and buying them. And look, from a collecting standpoint, that's great. That's a lot of fun. Have at it. Browse around, find cards that look awesome and that are of interest to you. But from an investing standpoint, you're better off going in with a very specific plan. And that's true not just if you're investing in sports cards, but if you're investing in any type of investment or any type of business. Those who put the strategy together before they go make the purchase are often those who are going to do better. So in the world of sports cards, what you want to do is you want to figure out who you're investing in and what your investing mix is going to be. And that is often based upon your own risk tolerance, your own investment objectives. Are you in it for the short-term gains or are you in it for the long-term appreciation, etc.? So one of the first things you need to consider is what category of players you would invest in. If you're in this for the long term, if you want to buy cards that are likely going to have good long-term value appreciation, but aren't necessarily going to spike in the short term, you're going to want to look towards your all-time greats, your GOATs, your Hall of Famers. These are the cards that are going to be your really stable long-term investment cards, your safest investment cards historically. Of course, we have no idea what the market is actually going to do. But if we look back historically, these cards make the best long-term type of investments. These are in basketball, your Michael Jordans or your Kobe's, or in baseball, your Hank Aaron's or your Willie Mays or other vintage baseball players, or maybe in hockey, you're going for Mario Lemieux or Wayne Gretzky, or in football, you're going for Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. Those types of players, they are an excellent cornerstone and certainly the safest bet with any type of sports card investment collection. Now, the opposite end of that is going for the hot new rookies, the prospects, the second and third year players. That is a lot riskier form of investing, but it also can offer higher upside, because if you can bet on the next young rookie player before they really break out as a star, you have the opportunity to make a big short-term gain. I love that kind of investing, but you have to understand it's very risky. And with every Tatis who you invest in, or Patrick Mahomes you invest in, and have a big multiplier, a big positive impact, you're going to end up with some busts as well. Kind of like Justice Winslow, who I showed you a minute ago, who go on to have their cards not worth nearly as much as what you paid. There's also kind of a middle ground, and this is a middle ground that I love, and this is investing in established players with upside. So players who have already had a good career, who are already highly regarded, but can still win some championships or win some MVP awards or do things in their future that could push their cards up even higher. This might be, for example, like an Anthony Davis in basketball. Already a very well-established player, already has a championship ring, but it also has several great years ahead of him where he can continue to lead the Lakers potentially to more championships, maybe even in a post-LeBron era. So that category of players I find to be a very compelling investment. You can also invest in players in anticipation of a big event happening to them. This would be people who are buying Deshaun Watson cards right now because they think there's a good chance he's going to get traded, and if he does, his cards could spike in value. Or maybe people who are doing the same with Bradley Beal. That is also a bit of a high risk, high reward investment category, but one that can be quite successful if you can time the market right on those moves occurring. Whichever of these strategies or many others out there that you choose to employ, the key is to have a strategy. Understand the cards, the players you're going to go after. And by the way, your strategy can also be based around things other than players. It can be based around, for example, sets or years. You've heard me talk on this show about how I think Select as a set is undervalued in the basketball and football card market. So perhaps you want to target select field level or select courtside cards where a lot of your investment is going to lie. So there's many different ways to approach it, but once again, develop that strategy in advance before you start searching and buying. That's the best way to do it from an investment standpoint. Once you've got that strategy together, now let me show you how to start finding those good deals. One of the best ways to find great sports card deals on eBay is to use the Sports Card Investor app. It is a free tool that very quickly and easily helps you identify good deals for cards on eBay. I'm going to show you how to use it now. And again, this app is free. If you haven't downloaded it yet, go download it right now so you can follow along. Go into the App Store on your phone and search for Sports Card Investor. Download the app, and then you can follow along what we're about to do here. Now, we just released an update to the Sports Card Investor app a couple of days ago that allows you to favorite cards and favorite players. That's a very important update because we just talked about creating a target list of the investment cards you want to go after. You can put that target list into the Sports Card Investor app by favoriting the cards and the players that you want to look for deals on a routine basis, and that makes it really quick and easy to get back to them. Make sure you have the latest update, and you can tell by going into the Sports Card Investor app and seeing if you have a little star down there in the corner. If you have a star down there in the corner, that means you've got the favorites feature and you're on the latest update. So let me show you how to use the favorites feature. When you search in the Sports Card Investor app by using the search icon, you can search for a player, and now you can favorite any player in the list who you may want to be investing in. Let's say, for example, you wanted to favorite Aaron Rodgers. You can just click that little star next to Aaron Rodgers, and then it will move them to the top of the player search so that in the future, you can just quickly click on Aaron Rodgers' name, click apply, and now you can browse through all of Aaron Rodgers' cards. And of course, you can swipe up to see what his cards are selling for, as well as recent sale prices on each of those cards, and compare those very, very quickly to find when there might be potentially good deals. You can also favorite individual cards as well. And let me show you how to do that. So once you've favorited players and cards, now you're going to want to look at those cards inside the Sports Card Investor app to go hunting for good deals. The way that you can call up the list of cards you favorited is by clicking this star icon in the lower right-hand corner of the app, and it will only show you the cards that you favorited. In this case, I favorited two cards, LaMelo Ball and Shohei Ohtani. Cards that are definitely in the higher risk category of cards you might invest in. But if you like going after those high risk, high reward players, these two guys might certainly fall within that boat. So let's start by looking at LaMelo Ball's cards for sale. We're going to do that by swiping up, and it's going to show you that right now in PSA 10 condition, there's only one card for sale on eBay. It's $8,000, and there's a little red hand next to that card. Well, the reason for that is that card is significantly over the recent sale price of that card. That's why we put a red hand automatically on that listing. And if you switch over to recent sales, you can see the two most recent sales of that card were way less than $8,000. So that card at an $8,000 price would not qualify as a deal for you to go after. But now let's switch to raw condition. And if you switch to raw condition, you actually see that there are several cards which have a green thumbs up next to them. That means that those listing prices sold are within 10% or less of what the most recent sale of that card went for. If we switch over to the recent sale tab, you can see that in raw condition, this LaMelo Ball 2020 Hoops base card has been selling recently for $25, $19, $20, $30. So when we go back to the Buy It Now tab, $22.50 seems like a potentially good deal for that card. Now, oftentimes when a Buy It Now listing like this pops up for below the recent sale price, it goes right away. There are a lot of people who use the Sports Card Investor app and are constantly comparing recent sales to Buy It Nows, and if they see a good deal, they'll often buy it. So you kind of have to be on it and looking often to be able to get the cards you want to get. Now, in this case, I'm going to click on this listing, this $22.50 listing, and see if it's still available for us to buy right now on eBay. Unfortunately, it's not. We missed out on the listing. Somebody probably already used the app to buy this particular listing. But don't worry, we can look at some of the other listings. Like let's say, for example, this $25 listing a couple down, which is still a reasonable deal considering the last sale price was also $25. I'm going to click on that listing. Sure enough, it is there. It is available to buy for $25 on eBay. Now, before you smash that Buy It Now button and buy that card right away, a couple of things you should always check on first. First of all, make sure the card that you're trying to buy is the same card that you saw listed. Sometimes sellers will use a description that's a little bit misleading that may cause their card to come up in a search that's not directly related. So always make sure you're getting the right card. Check the photos closely to ensure the condition of the card, especially if you're buying a raw card like this one. Condition makes a big difference in sale price, so check the condition closely. It's also always a good idea to check out the seller's feedback rating. Make sure you're dealing with a reputable seller with a lot of positive feedback. That's a positive thing as well. And if you're buying an expensive card, make sure to also go look at the recent sales to make sure they were legitimate as well. We do our best effort here at Sports Card Investor to remove recent sales from our app that look like maybe there was something not quite right about the sale, like somebody drastically overpaid or the buyer had no feedback at all. And so maybe there's some weirdness going on, but we don't always catch every single one. It's always a good idea to do your own due diligence, especially if you're buying an expensive card, to go examine the recent sales history closely to make sure it's fully legitimate. But in this case, this all appears good. The condition of the card look good. It's a good seller. The recent sales history looks accurate. I can go ahead and click that buy it now button with confidence to buy that card. Sometimes in the Sports Card Investor app, you can actually find new for sale listings on eBay that are significantly below the recent sales price. And if you're quick enough to hop on them, you can oftentimes get some immediate value. Let me show you an example of a listing right now. So if I swipe over from LaMelo Ball to Shohei Ohtani and then swipe up to see his cards currently for sale, look at this top listing. Look at this top listing of his 2018 Topps Chrome PSA 10 rookie card, $115. If I go over to recent sales, I see that this card most recently sold for $140. And then there were sales before that for $129, $139, $131. So that $115 listing, that seems like quite a value. Now, once again, click into the listing, go over to eBay's app and do your homework. Look at the shipping price as well, because the shipping price can significantly affect the value of a card. But if it all checks out and that's a legitimate seller with the right listing and a good shipping price, you've just found yourself a really good deal. Now, unfortunately, that particular card probably isn't going to be there by the time you actually get to watch this video, because I imagine somebody's going to hop on it right away. But if you swipe through the Sports Card Investor app often and you're constantly comparing recent sales to buy it now opportunities, you will often find yourself undervalued cards such as that. So now I'm going to show you some of the great tools eBay makes available to you on eBay.com and within the eBay app to help you search and find great deals. So let's take a look at eBay.com, and the first thing I want to show you is how to effectively search for the target card you are looking for. So here I am trying to do a search for the 2003 LeBron James Topps card, his key rookie card. But I don't want to see results from the other Topps sets in 2003, such as Topps Chrome or Topps Collection or Topps Pristine or Topps Finest. So I'm going to list out the sets that I do not want to see with a minus symbol in front of the name. That will take those words out of my search. It will exclude results that match that word from the search, helping me get cleaner search results. Now, the next thing I've done here is I have used the parentheses to define some terms that I would be fine seeing either of these terms in the search title, but I must see at least one of the two in the search title. I've done that here with BGS, PSA, and I put that in parentheses. Now, what that does is that essentially gives me a search where all of the results are going to be graded cards. By putting BGS, PSA in parentheses, eBay will only show me results that contain either the word BGS or the word PSA. Of course, I could expand that out and I could add SGC or HGA if I want to look for the new grading company in there as well, right? But that's a great way where you can use different variations of a word and make sure that one of those appears in the search results. It's a trick for finding graded cards. So here we go. I've got a fairly clean set of search results and I'm gonna browse down through these. Now, one thing I like to look at initially when I'm looking down search results is I like to look for the number of watchers, because oftentimes the number of watchers can indicate a card at a good price. And here's one right now with 66 watchers. That's a very high number of watchers for a card. There's a pretty good chance that this PSA 8 version of this card at $1,375 is priced at a good buy it now price if this thing has 66 watchers. So now what I want to do is I want to verify if this is a good price or not. What I'm going to do on eBay is I'm actually going to take out the BGS PSA and change it to search for a PSA 8 specifically. And I'm going to redo my search. And so there's that card coming up first with the 66 watchers. Now I'm going to go over here on the filters on eBay, and you can also do the same thing on the eBay app. And I'm going to click sold items. What this is going to do is toggle to show me what cards recently sold for on eBay of this ilk. Now right here, this card was a buy it now best offer situation, sold for $13.49. I don't actually know what that card sold for there. This one sold for $11.05. This one sold for $11.47. This one sold for $12.64. And then this one was a $16.50, but a best offer was accepted. So considering we had a sale on this card of $12.64 just a couple of days ago, I can see that the $13.75 price is a pretty good price. It's maybe not quite the low deal that I'm looking for, and I might continue to look to see if I can find another seller who I can negotiate with using a make an offer to get a price closer or around that $12.64 that the last one sold for. But $13.75 isn't a bad price considering that the last one sold for just about $100 less if the market on those cards is going up, which is actually not right now. The market on LeBron cards has been falling a little bit. So in this case, I would probably continue to look around and try to negotiate a bit. So if you can't find a current listing on eBay that you think is a good enough deal, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use the advanced search feature on eBay in combination with saved searches so that you can quickly come back in the future and find cards that meet your deal criteria. And eBay at times can even alert you if there's a new listing that matches your criteria. Let me show you how to do that. So here I'm back within eBay and I've got my search for this PSA 8 LeBron James up on the screen. I'm going to come over here to the advanced button over here all the way on the right. I'm going to click advanced, and this brings up a lot of really important options that allow me to set powerful criteria to find good deals. One thing I'm going to do, for example, is I'm going to say that I only want to see items that are priced between, let's say, $1,000 and $1,300, because $1,300 right now is going to be my top maximum price I'm willing to pay for that LeBron James PSA 8 Topps card. So I can set a range of acceptable prices. Now, of course, you could set this to $1, but then you might end up with some search results that don't really match the criteria. Nobody's going to sell that LeBron James Topps card for like $10 or something like that. So I often like to set a minimum that's on the low side, but is still within a reasonable range, just so I capture relevant search results. I'm also, in this case, only going to look for buy it nows. Now, one thing you can do, if you're going to be saving this search to come back to it routinely, if you want to come back in every single day, then what you might want to do is have the search only show listings that started within, let's say, the last 24 hours or the last 2 days. This will show you listings that were recently posted to eBay. And oftentimes you can find the best deals on brand new listings. Listings that have sat around on eBay for a long time. Oftentimes the reason they've sat around is because nobody's pulled the trigger on the item yet because the price isn't great. But brand new listings, sometimes you find a seller that's motivated to sell and they put it out there right away, and you got to snatch that thing up right away. So oftentimes I like looking through listings that were just started recently, because that's where you can sometimes find some of your best deals. So I'll oftentimes check that box. You can then decide how you want this to sort. You can sort by best match, or you can sort by price and shipping lowest first. I like to do that because that's going to show you the lowest price within that range of, in this case, $1,000 to $1,300 that I just set. I'm going to go ahead now and hit search. And right now, there's no items that match this criteria. No item was listed within the last 24 hours of this LeBron James Topps PSA 8 card that is between $1,000 and $1,300. But that's okay, because the purpose of what I did here was I set up a search that's gonna give me good results, and then I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna click this Save This Search button, and what it's gonna do is it's going to turn this into an eBay saved search for me that allows me to quickly in the future come back and repeat this same exact search. Now, once you've saved this search and other searches, you can easily get to them in the future under the My eBay menu by going down to Saved Searches. This will allow you to quickly run any of your searches again with just one click by clicking that View Items button. You can also subscribe by email to receive an email notification when new items are posted to eBay that match your search. Now, here's a little tip though. eBay doesn't want to spam you with too many emails, so they wait and they only will send you a certain number of notifications, and sometimes they wait a little while from when an item is posted to send you that notification. So if you really want to be on top of getting the good deals, you're going to have to come back to this page and manually view those searches throughout the course of the day. Or use the Sports Card Investor app. We're currently updating our data in there 4 times a day from eBay listings, and we hope to be able to update it more frequently in the future. Now I'm going to show you a couple of advanced searches on eBay that I like to do routinely because they can sometimes expose good deals that you might not otherwise find. The first is that I like to look at high dollar graded cards that are at auction ending that night, because occasionally you'll find one that is auctioning at significantly below market value. Here's how I do it. In the advanced search screen within eBay, the keyword I'm going to enter in is simply going to be PSA, BGS in parentheses. So I'm looking for any listing on eBay that has the word PSA or BGS in the title. I'm then setting it to look only at auctions and only auctions ending within, in this case, 5 hours, because I'm going to run this search in the early evening to look for auctions that are going to be ending that night. This is also an important one to check. I'm only looking for auctions that have at least one bid, all the way up to 999 bids. If you don't check this, you'll end up with a lot of auctions in your listing that are 0 bid auctions because the starting price on the auction was set too high to begin with. So I always want to look for auctions that have a minimum of 1 bid. And then I'm going to sort this by the price of that auction being the highest first. By doing this search, what I get is all of the premier cards that are ending tonight on eBay. And I can go down them and then start to look at any that I might be interested in and then compare it to recent sales history to see if there are any auctions that are perhaps going for too little money compared to what I think that card is worth. And I'll get in on that auction if I see that opportunity. Here's another search I love doing on eBay, using the advanced search feature again. In this case, I'm looking for rookie cards, RC or rookie. I put those in parentheses, so any listing that has RC or rookie in the title. I again am looking for auction items, but here I'm looking for auctions that are ending within an hour that have at least 1 bid. Why am I doing this? Because right now, as I'm filming this video, it's the middle of the afternoon. That would be an odd time for an auction to end. And that's exactly the point. Oftentimes, auctions that end at odd hours, whether that's during the daytime or maybe really early in the morning, often they won't get as much attention and therefore as many bids as auctions that end during the prime nighttime hours and especially on key nights of the week. So you can sometimes find items at particularly good values if you look for auctions ending at odd times. And this is how I do it. I'll set up searches like this to look at auctions that are ending within an hour, 3 hours, 5 hours, but then I'll run those searches in the morning or at lunchtime to look for auctions that are ending early in the day or early in the afternoon. And sometimes I'll trip across some auctions that are selling for below market value by doing that. Here are a couple more eBay searches I love doing because they can often expose great deals. One is that I like to search for the words investor lot in quotation marks. A lot of times people will put up listings, several listings of the same exact card, and they will call it an investor lot. sometimes as you search through these, particularly items at auction that are investor lots, you can oftentimes buy the lot for less than the price of what the individual cards in that lot are worth and get some instant value. Oftentimes the buy it nows of investor lots are a little bit overpriced, but the auctions of investor lots sometimes go for really, really good value. So you could, if you want, further refine this search to only look for auction results containing the word investor lot, and you're often going to trip on some pretty good bargain deals as you go. Another search I like doing is if you're looking for a particular player, in this case, I'm looking for Acuna, you can put in Acuna lot and put that in parentheses. And then what you'll find is people who are selling big lots of Acuna cards. Once again, sometimes you can find good deals by looking for lots of a player's card, and you can find instances where all of the individual cards they're selling are worth more cumulatively than the price they're charging for the lot as a whole. Along these same lines, sometimes you can find really good value by looking for complete sets, whether they're factory sets or whether they're sets that people created themselves. In the case of 2018 Topps, you've got some really good rookies that year. You've got Shohei Ohtani, you've got Gleyber Torres, you've got Ronald Acuna Jr., and then of course you've also got complete set products. And so there's the opportunity for you to buy a complete set, break it down, pull the key cards out, get them graded, and sometimes end up with more value than you paid for the set itself. Now, that's not an always guarantee because, of course, it depends on the condition of the cards in the set. If you're buying a sealed factory set, you've got a better chance of getting cards in pretty solid condition. But once again, it's never a guarantee because even if you're pulling cards out of a sealed factory set, it's not a guarantee that you're going to get a Gem Mint 10. But sometimes you can find those sealed factory sets at such a good deal that it's a no-brainer to buy them, break them down, and sell the cards individually, whether raw or graded, to find some great deals and get a great return on your investment. It's worth noting that all of these same tips work with non-sports cards like Pokemon as well. And they work for cards on the high end of the market, like that LeBron Refractor Grail card that you might love to go after. The make an offer feature on eBay is an important way to negotiate with sellers who you're trying to buy from to get a better deal. If you see a listing with a make an offer button, most of the time you're better off making an offer than clicking buy it now. Now, I say most of the time because there is an exception. The exception is that if you see a listing at a particularly good price, even if make an offer is an option, you take the risk that somebody else is going to come along and buy it at full price. So there have been some instances in the past where I have seen an item listed below market value or right at market value in a market where the price is going up, and I chose not to click make an offer and hope that the offer was accepted, but worry about the fact that someone else may grab the item. I decided instead just to go ahead and buy it now for full price. But that's the exception. Most of the time you want to use make an offer. And in fact, it's been my experience that the average seller on eBay is willing to sell their item between 15 to 20% less on average if you make an offer for that item. So typically if an item is listed, let's say for example, for $1,000, but there's a make an offer button, oftentimes you can get that item for between $800 and $850. Now that is just a very general rule that of course depends heavily on the price that the item is listed for. I will tell you, there have been times before where I have used make an offer and gotten an item for half, or in a couple of cases, even less than half of the original listing price. But in those cases, the asking price was pretty high. Most of the time, if the buyer has a reasonable asking price, making an offer at 50% of the price isn't going to get you the item. When I use make an offer, I like to make an offer that is just a little bit below market value. It's reasonable enough to not have the seller ignore me, but it is also a fairly favorable offer to me. Sometimes I'll find that the seller will accept that offer if it's close enough to being a reasonable offer, sometimes the seller will just be happy to sell the item and they will accept your offer. That's why I like offering at that price point. Some people will come in with really lowball offers, but the chance that your lowball offer is really going to get accepted is pretty low. So I like to come in with an offer that's reasonable, but on the low side of reasonable, and hope that the seller accepts. Now, oftentimes the seller will instead present a counter offer, and then you've got a little game of back and forth going. The challenge is you only have 3 attempts at making an offer before you give up your ability to make offers any further on that listing on eBay. So use your offers wisely. Now, I will tell you, if you've got a price that you will not go above, which by the way is a good rule with negotiating, come up with the price you are not willing to go above and have that in your mind before you begin a negotiation. What I'll sometimes do is I'll sometimes on my first offer come in on the low side of reasonable. They'll counter offer with a higher number. The second offer, I might go more up towards the price that I'm willing to go to. And then if they come out with a counter offer, I've now got a choice. My choice is I can either go up to the maximum I was willing to go to, or I can just repeat again around what my prior offer was. And it kind of depends how far apart we are and how bad I want that item. There have been times when I have actually made the same exact offer 3 times in a row to the seller. The first time I make the offer and the seller counter offers a few $100s above. The second time I make the exact same offer and the seller comes a little bit closer. And then the third time I make the exact same offer and the seller accepts it. That does occasionally happen. It just depends how much you want to stick to your guns. Now, of course, if there are other items for sale on eBay of the same exact card that are also accepting offers, it makes your ability to stick to your guns a lot easier. So I like to often work offers across multiple sellers. And if I see the same card across several sellers, I'll be more inclined to go in with lower offers and then go with the seller who is most willing to negotiate down with me. Whatever your strategy, that make an offer button is an important tool to use to make sure you're getting the best deal. Now I want to show you a brand new feature we just launched into Market Movers Lite and Market Movers Pro that can really help you find some good deals on eBay. It's called our eBay Deal Search feature. And what it does is it goes to eBay and looks at active listings, cards currently for sale, and it compares them to our entire database of sports cards to locate cards on eBay that may be selling for at or below market value. It then takes all of those cards and puts them on one screen for you to browse in Market Movers. And you can sort the screen by sport. Here I've sorted it to basketball, and here I've also sorted it to only look at graded cards. Now, this isn't perfect. Sometimes it will find cards for sale on eBay that don't quite match to cards in our database. So for example, here it's saying there might be a deal on this Mo Bamba 2018 Prism Silver card, but in reality, the card on eBay, which is pictured here, is actually the emergent card. You can see clearly those aren't the same card. But in other cases, you do find opportunities where there are good deals to be had. For example, right here, we're looking for a Steve Nash 1996 Topps Finest card in PSA 9. That last sold for $185. Well, there's one right now listed on eBay for $139.99. That's $45 below the last sale of that card. That's 24% below the last sale. Let's click over to the listing on eBay to make sure it's legitimate. And it is. It's $139.99. It is the PSA 9 of the Finest Steve Nash card. Now, what we would want to do is we'd want to go back and look at the recent sales history of that Steve Nash card to make sure those sales were legitimate. But assuming they checked out properly and assuming that $185 sale was legitimate, getting this card right now for $139, that's a pretty good value. And this new eBay Deal Search feature in Market Movers can help you discover deals like that. All right, everybody, I hope you got some great tips and takeaways from today's episode, but I would love to know from you, what are some tips that you have? How do you find good deals on eBay? Maybe some things I didn't mention in today's show. Please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Also, if you haven't yet, subscribe to our channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell icon so you are notified of when we put out new episodes, which we do every few days. I wanted to again thank eBay for being a great sponsor of today's show. Let's all thank them for giving us the opportunity to talk about today's topic of how to find some deals on eBay. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I look forward to reading your comments, and I'll see you back in a couple of days with our next show. Take care.